One of the things that I always recommend to people who get into MLB The Show and are trying to get better is to get a monitor. Just in general, a monitor is a lot better for this game than a TV is for a multitude of reasons, but the big thing is the response time. In case you don't know what response time is, it is basically the amount of time it takes for a monitor or a TV to show the information that is being shown from your console. There's always a time that it takes for a display to get the information from your HDMI cable and display it onto your TV or monitor. And a monitor usually does a great job of minimizing that, especially when you have a 1 millisecond, 2 millisecond response time monitor. And I always recommend that for MLB The Show because this game requires a lot of reaction. You have to have a quick reaction time, and it comes with reading pitches and being able to wait to see what happens with the pitch to react and swing. And when you play on a TV, you usually have to guess and just hope that something is a fastball or a strike earlier on, which causes a lot of problems when you're trying to get better at the game, maybe make World Series and ranked seasons. Maybe you're late in those fastballs against an outlier pitcher. All of these are problems usually because of people playing on the TV. So what I'm going to do today is show you exactly why a TV is not as good as a monitor and try to visualize this experience for you in case you are confused, on the fence, and wondering why people always say monitors are a must-have for MLB The Show. Let's get into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using my streaming software that I use to record and stream to kind of emulate this issue of playing on a TV. So I have a capture card which records my gameplay, and that allows me to get my gameplay onto my computer, and this recording software has a feature where I could add a render delay. It's not intended to do this, but I could do this for the sake of it, for this little bit of a science experiment. So at first, I'm going to be having a 0 delay on the gameplay. This is the software part that I can use to control and add this render delay. As you see, it is off. There is no delay. And I'm going to be playing straight through my monitor, getting the raw gameplay experience. So we can use it as a baseline. You could see exactly what my normal swings look like. And now we could use it as a comparison to when I add the delay. So I'm just going to get some swings here against Chris Archer, and you'll see how I feel with my swing time. You see, I'm early on an inside fastball. The fact that I am seeing the pitch basically as it's actually happening in the game gives me more time to react. I don't have to hit X so early in where the pitch is. I can actually read where the pitch is going, take more of a guess on it, and overall have better swing timing because I'm seeing a more accurate version of the game. And you see, I could even be early on some of these fastballs. I know some people have some constant issues with being late on fastballs, and a lot of them revolve around playing on a TV or any display with more of an input lag or a response time. So you see, those are my baseline swings. I got pretty good timing. I'm early on the ball. Now we're gonna put on a delay. So I am going to switch to this display now. I'm going to add a very little bit of delay, 100 milliseconds, as you can see here. This is probably closer to what a TV is. It's probably a more accurate representation of it. It also may be a little dramatic. I don't know the response time of lots of TVs. So now I'm seeing the actual video of what's going on in game 100 milliseconds later. And this is what happens with a TV with, say, 100 millisecond response time. So now we add this delay and take a look at my swing timing and just how it all feels. First of all, just the feel of it. It feels very clunky. The game isn't responsive. It's not really getting the response to everything I am doing initially. Like when I move the left stick, there is a delay in showing it in the game, and that is why. And as you see, I am now late naturally on the pitches I was definitely not late on before. Not that it's like the biggest problem ever, you know, I'm late on these fastballs. That happens with fastballs, but now I try to make the adjustment. I'm going to hit X earlier. Now for me to commit to a swing, I have to swing and commit to it earlier in where the pitch path is. So like I have to basically decide right out of his hand if I'm swinging or not. Depending on where the pitch actually is or what the pitch is, I have to commit to swinging earlier, which is going to mess with my timing. I was early on that one, but I literally just guessed out of the hand it was going to be a fastball. If he gives me anything but a fastball in this scenario, my timing could be absolutely off. This is a part of the problem with playing on a TV and MLB The Show. You have less time to react, you have less time to read what the pitch is, and now I'm gonna start throwing in some changeups. And you'll see, if I just go out and guess what the pitch is, I'm gonna be earlier on a lot of these changeups now because I can't sit back and see what they are. Like, that may have been a little bit of an exaggeration, but that's what happens. I'm sitting here committing for a fastball, ready to swing for fastball timing, And even still, like now that there's a changeup involved, I can't always commit to it as easily as I could just knowing I was getting fastball. So point is, when you have this delay, you have less time to react. You have less time to read the pitch and react to what type of pitch it is, whether it's a breaking ball, a fastball, and actually timing it properly. You kind of have to guess really early and hope and pray you guessed right. And this is just on all-star difficulty against a pitcher who really doesn't throw that hard. Now imagine you're on Hall of Fame difficulty facing against 99 DeGrom with outlier. Your reaction time to just guessing what the pitch is even smaller than this. And now what I'm gonna do to further exemplify this point is I am going to add even more delay. So now I'm gonna pull up my little pop-up, and what I had originally as 100 milliseconds delay, we're actually gonna add another 100. So now it's gonna be 200, so it's gonna be double the time. So in case you didn't 100% understand what was going on then, now you should be able to really see. I have to really sit and commit to a fastball. I have to really go out there and just guess and hope I'm right. And if I don't, I'm going to be late on fastball, so I don't have time to react. I have such a little window to actually reacting to a pitch. It is very tough to time anything. And my timing is consistently late on these fastballs right now. And honestly, like, the only thing I can do is maybe hope he hangs a changeup or something. Or just sell out fastball entirely. Come on, I'm just going to jump all in fastball here. Let's do it. Psych! I'm still late. I was still late. Actually, no, I was early. But you see the problem with that? See, now I'm committing to the fastball and I'm super early on those changeups. So you give yourself less of a window to react because you are seeing a delayed version of the gameplay. And now for the final perspective, for this to all come full circle, I'm gonna turn off all the delay and go back to exactly where we start. So for anyone that does get a monitor and makes that decision, you will notice that, you know, when you first get one, there will be lots of times where you're early on everything. You're gonna realize that adjustment for you. You start to really realize how early you are swinging. I'm gonna turn off the delay. I'm gonna go right back to my raw gameplay and I'm gonna start getting my cuts. And first of all, the game feels buttery smooth. It's actually responsive and yeah, look at that. Early on a fastball. Can't say I'm too shocked. Definitely not shocked in the slightest. I thought I sat back on that so much. You know what this feels like? It feels like when you take custom practice and you play on like legend difficulty with boosted sliders against DeGrom, and then you hop into BR where the pitches are significantly slower. It's almost what it feels like in that sense. It's like if you're taking real life batting practice and you have one of those like weighted bats or something like that, and then now you suddenly switch to like an unweighted bat. That's like kind of what it feels like in a sense. Like now I feel free. I feel like I could actually time everything properly. And the funny thing is, even when I'm sitting back in these pitches, I'm early on it all, which shows how much of a factor this could be. This also can be a factor between consoles. If you play on PlayStation, the controller has a little bit more input lag, so it takes more time for the console to react to the controller input in comparison to, say, Xbox. And I noticed this from switching between one console to another for a little bit, and it definitely is something on PS5 versus the Xbox Series S and Series X. So, when you are deciding between a TV and a monitor, especially for MLB The Show's sake, look for a monitor with as little input lag and lower response time as possible. A lot of people like looking for a 1 millisecond response time to minimize on that. My monitor is actually 8 millisecond, but I think it actually plays to lower than that because it has like this overdrive mode, and I think it might improve on that. I really don't know. But I'm gonna put a link to some good monitor options in the comments here. And if you do go to those links on Amazon, they do actually support me, so I do want to put that out there. But go to those links, feel free to check out a monitor if you are looking to get one, and hopefully this video gave you some good direction on whether you are on the fence or not getting a monitor, and hopefully it pushed you in the right direction. If you have questions, want to let me know, leave them in the comment section. Feel free to swing by my stream, twitch.tv/scan, and ask me over there. My goal, my content is to help people get better at MLB The Show and help you all try to get better at Diamond Dynasty and all of that. This video is just one example of that. We're gonna be uploading a ton of tips and tricks once MLB The Show 22 drops in about 8 days. So it's an exciting time for the channel and the community here. So make sure you're subbed for that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like if you did. Again, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you all again on the next one. Deuces.